You ever notice how a Caribbean grandmother can say one sentence that stays in your head for years and somehow only start making sense when your life start falling apart? It's almost scary. Like she wasn't just talking, she was predicting something. Something you didn't understand back then. Something you probably still don't understand now. And the truth is, Caribbean grandmothers know something you're not ready for. And trust me, once you hear it, you cannot unhear it. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you'll realize that there was something your grandmother saw coming long before you ever knew they were possible. So here's the first thing you need to know. Caribbean grandmothers don't tell you everything outright. They tell you the edges of the truth, the parts they think you can handle. But the real message, they left it hanging in the air, right between what they said and what they meant. You ever ask your grandmother for advice and she says something like, time longer than rope? And she just walk away? No explanation, no context, just pure stress. And you stand there confused, Googling rope lengths, trying to decode what she meant. But listen, they speak in delayed truths, meaning you only understand when life actually hits you. That is the first layer of what they know that you're not ready for. The first layer. But here is where it actually gets worse, because these people, Caribbean grandmothers, they know exactly what lesson is coming for you. Oh my. They can read people like weather, because a Caribbean grandmother don't meet people. They scan them. All right, so your friend walk into the house and your grandmother look them up and down once and her face instantly change. Because Caribbean grandmothers can scan who's lying, who's jealous, who wants something from you, who's hiding something, who's pretending, who will betray you later. And they don't need details. They feel the energy before you see the behavior. They know when someone is not your friend. They know when someone is not your future. And they know when someone is definitely just not good for you. And you're still saying, no man, grandma, them nice. You think she's being dramatic and she thinks you're being blind. Now let me tell you a story. I introduced my grandmother to someone once. A person I thought was the nicest human alive. Grandma pulled me aside and said, be careful, that smile have teeth. Brother, I was like, what does that even mean? 2 years later, yeah, I understood. Let's talk about the honesty. The honesty they deliver like it's a grocery list. They'll look at your partner and say, me not trust them. Or she'll watch you stressed out and casually say, you chose that life. No venom, no tone, just raw, unfiltered data. But here's the twist most people don't see. Their honesty wasn't meant to humble you. It was meant to save you from being humbled later. Caribbean grandmothers don't talk in circles. They talk in conclusions. And every harsh thing they ever said was really just them trying to prevent you from learning the hard way. Which, ironically, you still did. Because we all did. And that's the part they know. You won't listen until life shouts at you. And you know what? Caribbean grandmothers have a humor that wasn't really meant to be funny. So let's lighten it for a second, because Caribbean grandmothers' humor is honestly Hall of Fame level. No, seriously. You could be crying your heart out and she look at you and say, stop crying. You're making yourself ugly. Or something like, eat. Sadness can't full belly. Or when you bring home a friend, she would say, oh, that one look like them barrow manners just for today. You try not to laugh, but you can't help it. Because their humor always had truth to it. It wasn't just jokes. It was honesty disguised as comedy. But the crazy part, sometimes the jokes was the warning. You ever get the look? Caribbean people always get the look. The look that said, I already know what you did. I already know who you're hiding. I already know you're lying. I already know you're failing your classes. I already know you're stressed. That look was magic. It was intuition. A Caribbean grandmother can hear you breathe wrong and know your entire emotional situation. And when they finally speak, they don't start with, how are you feeling? They start with, what you're not telling me, child? And now, the tension hits. Because you feel exposed, like your soul printed out receipts and handed them to her. That's the thing you're not ready for. They know your truth before you do. No, we're getting deeper because there is another layer to their wisdom that nobody tends to talk about. Caribbean grandmothers can feel when you're close to breaking, even when you think you're hiding it. You'll walk in the house like everything is fine, and she's watching you like, eat something. Or sometimes even worse, come lie down. And you know you're putting on that show. Why? I'm fine. She knows you're not fine. And she's not going to wait until you collapse to address it. But my friend, here's the part that humbles you. She sees the version of you that you haven't grown into yet. And she also saw the versions you needed protection from. So here's where the tension spikes. You think life is stressing you out now? You think heartbreak is new? You think money problems are new? You think fake friends are a modern invention? Brother, Caribbean grandmothers live through that. Every single thing you're crying about. But with less support, less resources, less emotional freedom, and zero Google. And zero Google. Google. And zero Google or AI. And somehow, they made it look easy. That's the thing you're not ready for. The life now that's overwhelming you, they already mastered. All right. Here's the big reveal. Here's the thing Caribbean grandmothers know that you're not ready for. Not until childhood breaks you open. Life is going to change, whether you cooperate or not. They understand that pain humbles you, love grows you, heartbreak teaches you, disappointment strengthens you, loss transforms you, patience protects you, and rushing life ruins you. And they knew one more truth. The one truth that hits hardest. You will not understand wisdom until life forces you to. That's why they don't explain everything. That's why they speak in half riddles and short sentences. Because they knew you're not ready for the full lesson yet. But one day when life finally brings you to that place, you'll remember their words and finally say, yeah, now I get it. You ever catch yourself repeating the same things they used to say? You open your mouth and suddenly you hear, rest is important. Not everyone is your friend. Watch people's actions, not their words. It scares you a little because now you realize the wisdom you used to ignore becomes the wisdom you're now living by. You're slowly turning into the adult they always hope you'd become. That is the final layer of what they know, long before you are ready. And if you're enjoying the video so far, hit that like button or that hype button. It helps the channel out big time. So what did Caribbean grandmothers know that you weren't ready for? Everything. Everything about you, everything about life, everything about people, everything about survival, everything about heartbreak, everything about resilience, everything about timing, everything about truth. And they knew you wouldn't understand any of it until life humbled you enough to hear them. But you're older now, wiser now, softer in some places, stronger in others. And now, finally, you're ready. If this video reminds you of your grandmother, drop a heart in the comments and share that one thing she told you that only makes sense now. And before you watch this next video, you know the line. It's not just a destination, it's the journey. Later.